Call the meeting to order. All right, calling the meeting to order. If everyone could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge of Allegiance. Flag. Republic. Against one nation. God. Indivisible. Free.
For citizens to be heard, welcome back from down under. I will ask Commissioner Young to welcome our residents to our township meeting.
Good evening, everybody. Just wanted to welcome everyone as this is my first meeting back of the year from vacation. It was nice to be away and get away and see my family. Just want to welcome everybody. We have a lot of stuff on the agenda. We have a lot on the agenda for the year, and just want to make sure that everybody is involved. As we always say, it's a new year. We have plenty of spots on committees and boards in the township. If you're interested, please reach out to the township staff. You can always join a board. As Paul says, we're a fun group of people, so join us and help make our township better. Let's get to work.
Thank you, Josh.
Thanks.
All right. Before moving on, in light of last night's accident down in the Potomac, I would like to send out from Count Township our thoughts and prayers with the family members who've lost loved ones in this horrific accident. Thank you. All right, next on the agenda is citizens to be heard. Do we have any here in the township building? We're all jumping up and down, but nobody's raising their hands. Anyone in Zoom? None at this time. Moving right on to our engineer. We have Ross online.
Good evening, everyone.
Evening, Ross. Good to see you again.
You too. So the first order of business for me tonight is relating to the Geo Carlson Boulevard retaining wall. So that was it's an emergency repair project. You may recall that at one of the October meetings, the board authorized up to a $593,000 contract with Pickering Valley Landscape. We took a little bit of time following that to make sure that the contractor was really fully understanding the scope, because we had seen some few inconsistencies in their proposal. So we did that. We met on site with them and got a few things clarified, and the price that we ultimately signed the agreement with them for was $115,000 less than that. So I think that was time very well spent. And then we got them all, the contracts all signed and insurance checked and everything, and they got started on the wall. So the construction of the retaining wall is, I'd say, about roughly halfway complete in terms of the total time. They have like the whole base excavated, compacted, and like the lowest level of the wall installed. And then from there, it actually proceeds relatively quickly. That's kind of the hardest part of the project. So they are anticipating that they'll be pretty much totally complete at the end of next week. And there might just be a little bit of pavement restoration that follows after that. And then so with having made so much progress, they submitted an application for payment, which is the agenda item for tonight. And so Pickering Valley Landscape, they requested a payment for a total of $239,000 of work. And so we're in agreement with all the quantities. And so after taking out a 10% retainage, the actual payment that would be authorized, if that's okay with the board, would be $215,100. So since we have no objection to any of that, we would be requesting that the board authorize that payment to Pickering Valley in the amount of $215,100.
Thank you, Ross. Commissioners, any questions, comments on this?
No.
This time, residents here in the township building? None at this time. Anyone in Zoom? I will entertain a motion to approve payment application number 1 in the amount of $215,100 payable to Pickering Valley Landscape. So moved?
Second.
Moved and second. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you, Ross.
Great, thank you. And so one other item for me for tonight is relating to the Spackman Davis farmhouse roof. So just to give you a brief update, they did have some downtime due to some bad weather and like between the holidays and some snow, a little bit of time lost. So I think I'm still waiting to get an exact estimate from the contractor, but I'm thinking that they'll be finished around the end of the month. With everything, we're currently waiting for some a lead time for some of the snow guard materials so that we can get the right color that matches the rest of the roof. But I think around the end of the month would be completion of the project. One item that did arise during the work was that the lightning protection system that was existing, once they actually got up there and looked at it closely and inspected it, we were finding that it's really not in good condition and really not suitable for reuse, and it doesn't have the proper fasteners to connect to the new roof. So the contractor said that they could attempt to make the old system work, and it would probably cost about $4,000. But they also said they could just put in a brand new lightning protection system for the new metal roof that is like completely as you would want it to be for all the fasteners proper for $6,000. So we felt that was like definitely a worthwhile expenditure to just spend a little bit more and get the right system for that. So for tonight, we do have for your consideration a change order in the amount of $6,000 for to basically have the contractor put in a brand new lightning protection system for the new roof. And I also included in there an extra 30 days in the contract times just to counteract some of the time lost due to snow and kind of that week of holidays too.
Smart thinking. All right, commissioners, any comments on this? Have a proper working lightning rod with a brand new metal roof.
I think it seems advisable.
All right. Anybody, any residents here in the township building? Comments? None at this time. Well, easy enough. None on. Oh, we do have a hand raised? Yes. I see Tom Parr's name. Welcome, Tom. Sika's working on it. Moving on up to panelist. Tom, you there?
No.
Do not hear anything as of yet.
That's why. Okay.
Yep.
You hear me now?
Oh, Tom, yeah. Gotta hit that button.
Sorry about that. My easy question. Tomorrow is the end of the month. Are we talking the end of February?
Oh, apologies. Yes, the end of February. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah,
All right, no problem. That was it. Thanks.
you got it.
And Tom, just name and address for the record.
I'm sorry. Tom Parr, 582 Lloyd Avenue.
All right, thank you, Tom.
You're welcome.
All right, no other questions from Zoom?
We do have Commissioner Kennedy iPhone.
Oh, okay.
Good evening. Mhm.
Welcome, Jane.
Jane.
I'm in. Thank you.
All right. Here, Ross. Okay. Sorry, I missed your text there, Jane. Glad you're in. All right. Moving right along. We are entertaining a motion to approve change order number 1 in the amount of $6,000 for the lightning rod.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Tindaro, second by Commissioner Young. All in favor? Say aye.
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 And that's passes 4-0. An extra commissioner here. All right, Rob. What else do we have? Oh no, was that it for you?
I believe that's it for me. So thank you very much. I appreciate your time and attention. Yep.
Thank you, Ross. And I like your shirt. I think my wife got me the same shirt for Christmas.
Is it Columbia?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
It might be. I love it. It's so comfortable.
You're gonna have to wear it at the same time
Yeah. We'll pass around a memo for that.
for CTMA.
Yeah.
All right.
For sure. Yeah, sounds good. All
Take care.
right. Have a good evening. Goodbye.
Next on the agenda, is the resolution 2025-03 designating the emergency service providers for the year 2025. Josh, is this something we want to table?
No. No.
No.
I'm sorry, it's just an inside joke. Any questions? Yeah, yes. Commissioners, any comments on this?
No.
Here in the township building, any comments from residents or our fire department in the back? Good. Anybody, Ray, welcome, Ray. You're muted. There you go.
No.
Little-
In here.
Is it your end or our end? Yep. Give it another try there, Ray. Still can't hear you.
Out now.
Yep, perfect.
Good.
Sorry.
Did you make mention?
Yeah, sorry I can't be there in person. I'm away at a training class, but
Thanks for chiming in. Anything you want to add to this?
no, just again, this, I believe you did have a red line version. I mean, this pretty much is just cleaning up some wording, but there's, no real significant changes.
Yeah, no, it looks pretty good on our side.
Yep.
All right, Ray. Any other comments in Zoom? Nope. All right, entertain a motion to, is that worded? Approve the 2025 emergency service providers for Count Township.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Young, second by Commissioner Tindaro. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The motion passes 4-0. We didn't have to wait that long this year. It's good.
Yay.
And, next resolution, 2025-04 for the fire police. Are we doing a swearing in or pretty much everyone has been sworn in? Okay. Okay, commissioners, any comments on this?
Nope.
None at this
Fire
time?
police.
Anyone here in Zoom?
Report.
Hi, in the township building? None at this time, Zoom? Easy going. Entertain a motion establishing the fire police officers for Thorndale Volunteer Fire Company for 2025.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Young, second by Commissioner Tindaro. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion passes 4-0. Hybrid public meeting, discussion and action item. Don, do you want to take this?
Of course. Good evening, commissioners. At the last meeting, we discussed the hybrid meeting policy, and as you recall, last year adopted a policy. There were some changes desired by the board. One component of the change, essentially, the policy was restricted to allow boards to adopt more stringent conditions as far as the policy goes, boards and commissions. It was pointed out that some boards may not have the ability, for example, zoning hearing board, legally in order to record and then post those meetings. It does provide some complications. So we made some adjustments to the policy to reflect that, allowing boards to have the ability to adopt their own policy, but not requiring them to be more stringent. However, the procedure where as the commissioners will need to approve any board or commission's policy remains in effect. Other than that, there was a change in the event that technology does fail. If a meeting will continue, is at the discretion of the board, and that was raised if that there needed to be some flexibility based on the agenda to allow a meeting to continue or not, and that is up to the board given the circumstances. Those were the only two changes to the existing policy, and there is a red line version in your packet.
Commissioners, comments, changes needed? This time, anyone here in Zoom? I mean, in the township building? None this time? Anyone in Zoom? Moving right along. Wow. I appreciate you working on those changes. And once the other boards have adopted their hybrid policy, that would come in front of our board for final approval.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Appreciate that. All right, entertain a motion to approve resolution 2025-05.
So move.
So
Second.
So moved by Commissioner Kennedy, second by Commissioner Tindaro. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 4-0. Moving right along. What I like is we have moved up the director's reports, so they don't have to sit around the entire night, but they're going to stay here anyway. But these reports are the 2024 annual director's reports, and we'll start off with Minquist. Our EMS service for our full township. Welcome.
Hello.
Good evening, Commissioners. So in your packet, I believe you have December 2024, as well as the year-end 2024 report. Just want to go over some highlights for that and some goals moving forward in 2025. So in December 2024, Minquist EMS responded to 550 dispatch calls. 297 were ALS or advanced life support. 253 were BLS or basic life support. Total number of transports for the month was 307. This data highlights the high demand for EMS services and the continued strain on resources, particularly due to increasing volume of calls and mutual aid requests. Top two hospitals, Chester County Hospital, Paoli Hospital, were the primary destinations, with 198 and 106 transports respectively. Circle back on the whole year 2024. During 2024, Minquist faced significant challenges due to financial difficulties affecting the national EMS system, a sharp increase in call volume, and the ongoing impact of the closure of Brandywine. As you probably are aware, the closure has impacted us with turnaround times. We did the data on that. 1% of our calls, our crews were waiting at the hospital for transfer care of over an hour. Normally it's about 30 minutes, and that was anything over 30 minutes was about 9%. So about 10% of our calls were extended, which puts a strain on the system as a whole, right? Despite these hurdles, our providers remain dedicated to serving the community, continuing our longstanding commitment to providing exceptional care service. During 2024, Minquist handled a record-breaking 5,760 calls for service, averaging about 16 calls a day, which represents a 40% increase in demand. Our operational team focused on ensuring that they had the necessary resources to maintain that high standard, because call volume, let's face it, is not going to go down. It's going to continue to rise. So Minquist is deeply grateful for our residents and our elected officials for your ongoing support, and acknowledging that we acknowledge the crucial role that this has afforded us to continue our services. Looking ahead, we aim to use the challenges of 2024 for an opportunity for positive change and more collaboration in 2025. With that said, 2025 goals. So our yearly subscription was set out in November. Starting to receive them back, which is great. This membership provides peace of mind knowing that if you ever need ambulance services from Minquist, you won't owe anything beyond what your insurance covers. That's one of the biggest top questions that we get. What does this cover? So it acts as a secondary or a tertiary kind of insurance. If that makes sense. If you misplaced it, don't worry. The reminders be going out like March, April-ish, so they'll be coming back out. As far as community outreach in 2025, we're ramping up those programs again, offering services such as car seat checks and CPR, first aid classes for our community, as well as the businesses in our community. And if you're interested in any one of those, email address for car seat checks is carseatchecks@minquist.org. And if you want to schedule CPR first aid, anybody in the community can schedule that. It's CPR at Minquist. So other than that, I look forward to a great year of 2025. That's all I have, unless you have anything else for me.
Commissioners?
Just one thing, I want you to, can you reiterate the membership? Because I don't think people understand. They think their insurance will cover the full ambulance cost.
I truly appreciate that, Commissioner Young. So the membership, it's set around, it's a nominal fee. I don't remember them exactly off the top of my head. I know that a family plan, which covers your whole family, it's $110. Anybody over the age of 65, that's a couple, is $65. So what that does is it acts as a secondary or tertiary kind of insurance. So you call 911, Minquist responds, we transport you to the hospital. Let's say your bill's $2,000. Insurance only covers $1,000. Well, if you're a member, it's the slate is clean. So it's again, it's like a secondary or tertiary insurance. Does that answer your
Yeah,
question?
I just want people to understand that, you know, if you call the ambulance and you are transported, there could be additional costs above and beyond your insurance bill. And if you join as a member, you know, if you're over 65 or a family or whatever membership you choose, there would be no additional bill for you.
Absolutely, yeah. That's a good point. You know, everybody's like, oh, I have insurance for a reason. You are correct. You do have insurance for a reason, but unfortunately, the return to the services provided is not 100%. Therefore, if you don't have a membership with Minquist or any other ambulance service, you're responsible for the remaining balance of that bill. Whereas if you have the membership, your slate is wiped clean, and that's good. To that point, it's good for the whole year, right? It's not a once and done. It's 2025 you'll be covered for the year.
And if they lost their or threw it away, didn't realize what it was, can they just contact Minquist and do that, or do they need to wait for the second mailing?
Absolutely, they can reach out to the station. Our number's listed on the website. I think it's also listed on Township Resources. They could stop down at our main station on Wallace Avenue. But if they are misplaced or if you don't know where they're at, you could always obtain another one.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Director, we have the fire company. Patrick, welcome.
Yes, good evening.
Evening.
So again, to echo, I'm sure you'll hear it a lot through emergency services. We had another busy year as well, roughly just shy of a 10% increase in our total call volume from what we saw in 2023. And as Mick was stated, we don't expect our call volume with the growing township and growing number of visitors to the township. We don't expect our call volume to go down any. So there were some big milestones we achieved this year, and collectively and jointly with the township, and to improve our service, and we really appreciate it. I do just want to touch on, because I know there is confusion when it comes to the Thorndale Fire Company Fund Drive and Minquist Ambulance, and I please encourage, if there's questions, please reach out to the fire company or to Minquist. But basically, we do not charge for any of the services the fire company provides when we respond. We've gotten a few questions for that. And please call 911. We will respond, and it won't cost you for that. The fund drive for Thorndale Fire Company basically allows us to train and go to training classes, much needed equipment that is very, very expensive anymore, and very many other things. So that's what the fund drive, and that should have started to hit mailboxes actually this week. But again, if you have any questions, please reach out. Our contact information is on our website, as well as the township website through the fire service portion.
Patrick, that is a tax deductible.
Yes, it is absolutely tax deductible. There is a section on the fund drive mailer where you can record the check and things like that to include in your taxes. Thank you. And obviously your generosity is always appreciated. Other than that, any questions? Happy to answer.
Commissioners? I think we're good. Patrick, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you, Pat.
Thanks. Public Works. Johnny.
Good evening, commissioners. Just a review on the 2024. A couple things highlighted. Just like Public Works, like to show our appreciation for the new backhoe and trucks that we received early this year. Helped us out a lot with different kind of tasks in the township, and trucks are going to do, well with the snow and stuff like that. So appreciate that. Things that we did and that we we're working on now is like street sweeping. And I believe from the deal we had last year, we're getting a better deal this year with different companies. So
Oh.
looking forward, to presenting that hopefully next month with you guys. Just stuff that we wrapped up Glen Ridge, that was a nice learning experience for the guys down at Glen Ridge and see what we can do. And, public can see what we can do. And, of course, you've seen the pictures earlier this year.
Mhm.
So, with the GIS mapping and everything like that, I think we're going to accomplish a lot more with that stuff and with the equipment we're providing. So, thank you very much for that. It's just a little bit of things that we've been doing around the township. Water line at the park, the guys show that they can, save the township money by doing things like that on their own. So, just good highlight stuff like that from picking trash.
That was a huge savings for that pipe at
Yeah, that's
the
right.
park. I do remember that.
Yeah. So, I mean, just put stuff out there. So 2025, we look to do some more stuff with stormwater and get the ball rolling. The weather break.
I just had one question. I brought it up last year and I forgot to follow up on it. We talked about battery backups for the traffic lights. Did we ever do anything with that or look more into that?
I did talk to Signal Service and they were supposed to, so I have to get back on them with that. They're supposed to go and check all our tracker lights and see how much.
Okay.
And the ones that we do have on 30 are bad now, so they don't last that long. They'll probably last maybe an hour.
Yeah, I just think
Gotta jump back up.
yeah, if we can get on that because the intensity of storms seems to be more and more intense and longer outages. So, the longer we can keep those lights up and running before you can get here to put generators out, the better we are.
Yep, that'd be something I'll work.
Thank you.
Commissioners, any other comments? Johnny, thank you. Ingleside Golf Course. Oh, welcome.
Good evening.
Did we thaw out yet?
So the snow is melted. We had a handful of golfers today.
Oh,
Wow.
If it wasn't gonna rain tomorrow, we'd probably had bigger number and this weekend some brave walkers because it's gonna be wet. But that's been the story this month. Club's been closed most of the month due to the weather, but it's allowed us to do a lot of the projects inside the shop, get ourselves organized and ready for the year. But as far as 2024 goes, I did provide a report. And I also wanted to thank you guys for the equipment, the patience as we rebuild and revitalize the golf course. It's a long process, but 2024, we took huge strides. Should see some before and after pictures in some upcoming newsletters. We've been documenting this process of recovering from the tragedy of 2023. So, but yeah, we finished the year with $730,000 in revenue, which is historically
great.
in the past 20 years is very high. Higher than it's a top 5 year since the township has owned the golf course. And rounds of golf over 20,000. We'd like to see that jump by 10,000 this year. And that's the goal. The goal is to bring more events, more outings. We've already set up for 2025 our spring kids youth clinic and our fall youth clinic. The first tee of Greater Philadelphia will be utilizing our golf course for providing golf instruction to underprivileged children. And They will also be hosting a golf tournament at Ingleside Golf Club. So far already, we've already doubled the amount of outings from last year, and we hope to continue that momentum. The momentum of the last 3 months of 2024 should carry into this year, and we should start off very strong. Everyone's excited over there for the weather to change so we can get started.
We are looking forward to it. It's going to be a good year.
Yes.
Really will. You can feel it.
Commissioners, any comments?
No. Thank you very much.
That was very exciting. Nicole.
Great job.
Wave.
Very
Thank you,
Appreciate you.
Nicole.
Thank you.
Building life and safety. Ray, are you still there?
Yes, sir. So you should have my report in front of you, and I just want to, like everybody else, just try to cover a couple highlights. You'll see our permit. We processed 920 regular permits last year, which was the highest year that we've had so far. The 920 was a 7% increase from 2023 and 158% increase since 2020. So, you know, we incrementally since 2020 have increased our permits. It is interesting to note, and I think a lot of people had noticed, even during COVID, permits increased dramatically. People were getting, you know, incentive money, and they were continuing to do projects at home because they weren't taking vacations. And we had initially anticipated that that would slow down, and it just hasn't. Like I said, incrementally every year it's been increasing, you know, 6%, 7%, 10% to where we're at today. Our rental program, obviously with some of the new residential buildings that we've had completed in the township, our rental applications have increased from a rental application activity, which encompasses new rentals, follow-ups, you know, 3 years in inspections and tenant changes. We were up 8% since 2023 and 29% since 2020. Code enforcement, and this might look a little weird, but it's actually a positive. We had a 6% decrease in 2024 from 2023, which is actually a positive. That means, you know, we're able to get out in the community. We're able to cooperate with people. We're able to work with people, hopefully, so that things aren't a violation. And we just get regular, you know, compliance on a more regular basis. But I also wanted to point out that since 2020, it's been over a 300% increase in activities. Now, keep in mind, those activities, again, aren't all notices of violation and citations or court. You know, some of them are phone calls, knocking on doors, you know, working to get that cooperation. And that's primarily due to the support that the commissioners have had with us hiring staff. You know, again, we ended up with 1 full-time fire marshal and 2 part-time fire marshals, and they help with code enforcement, not just commercial fire inspections. From a residential and commercial building perspective, obviously we had 2 major residential projects get completed. For the most part, Meadows at Hillview, which is just about completed, and the Willows at Valley Run, the apartment complexes is full and there's waiting lists. My Place, you know, continues to actually they're building their last 2 apartment buildings, and they're just starting to do work on their last 2 phases of townhome units, and they're starting to fill up as well. Couple other real quick things to point out from emergency services perspective, you know, from a township on the career firefighter program. Obviously, it was a big year in cooperation with Thorndale Fire Company. You know, a lot of work went into that preparation at the end during budget season in 2023 and across 2024. We literally built, you know, a program from the ground up, which wouldn't have been, you know, possible without the support of the commissioners the support of Chief Taylor and all my staff that, you know, we either took on from the fire company or that we have hired. So there was a lot that was involved in that, and I won't bore you with that stuff. Our fire marshal program, we continue to improve on that. You know, our commercial fire inspection program has paid huge dividends. We're getting voluntary compliance. We're catching things that even the business owners are, you know, glad that we're reminding them of things to improve safety. EMS, you know, I'm not going to take away from Derek's report, but, you know, there's a lot of work that goes on that, you know, there. And as Commissioner Young and Commissioner Mullen know, you know, there's a lot of meetings to help keep that going and help improve that whole program. Lastly, training. You know, I'm actually, you know, very proud to say that if you look under the training, you'll see a lot of training. My code enforcement staff, my fire marshals, and the firefighters are all committed to continual education. And, you know, just to better the safety of the community. So that's it.
Ray, excellent.
Thank you.
So much, commissioners. Any comments for Ray? Doing a great job there, Ray.
Thank
Really
you,
do
Ray.
appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
You got your hands full with everything you're juggling. I will say that. All right, next we have police department, police chief.
Evening, everyone.
Evening.
In 2024, the department responded to 11,224 calls for service. That's a 5.25% increase from 2023. And that's on the heels of a 17% increase from 2022 to 2023. Despite that, we saw a 31% reduction in traffic crashes from 2022 to 2023, and last year an additional 23% reduction. And that's a credit to our officers and this board for placing an emphasis on public safety and through the budgetary process, giving us the personnel resources that we need to do the job. So thank you. I have an update on the intermediate unit, but I see that's going to be on the manager's report a little later on in the meeting. Last year, we were the beneficiary of $250,000 in grant funds, and we anticipate a similar amount in 2025. And all of that has gone toward either vehicles or equipment. We recently implemented a no solicitation registry for our residents. Get a lot of complaints about door-to-door peddling. Already close to 100 residents have signed up. That information will be supplied to companies that are issued peddler's permits by the police department. More information and a registration link can be found on our Facebook page. If you recall, over the years, we've had a very successful senior program, and I spoke a little briefly last fall that was being replaced with a new program called Are You Okay? That is officially up and running. We had problems in the fall with Comcast, but we've worked through those issues. And that's expanded from just our elderly residents to residents with disabilities and so on. It's a free service for those who register. It offers peace of mind for families and loved ones who are elderly or disabled and live alone. You pick the time of day, the system contacts you by phone. If you don't answer or acknowledge that you're okay, an officer will respond to the home. We are one of only a couple hundred municipalities in the country that are offering such a service. It's advertised on Facebook and the township website. It's been shared over 230 times, and we're already getting calls from other municipalities, and I'm getting calls from chiefs whose residents saw it on our Facebook page and want them to implement a similar system. So there's a lot in the annual report that you have that I didn't talk about, but if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Chief, commissioners, comments?
Oh, I wanted to ask you something because it's a big thing with solicitation. If people are going door to door, and this is on a political thing, is that still permitted?
It to fall under the township ordinance for peddlers. It has to be goods or services.
Sorry.
Goods or services that they're offering at a cost. So no,
Okay.
it doesn't.
Goods or services,
Right.
not,
Correct. Doesn't pertain to political.
okay.
Right.
Because some people say you shouldn't be there in certain cases, and I just wanted to confirm.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Good question. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The questions from commissioners? Chief, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Always good that Callan is setting the stage for every other township. Right. Oh, community outreach. Jessica, since Abby is out this evening. Oh, she has a video.
Oh, nice.
This will be interesting. Yeah. So since Abby could not attend our meeting.
Hi, everybody. Sorry I couldn't be there tonight, but just wanted to give you a quick overview of community enhancement efforts in 2024. So some of our top achievements included planting the 2nd acre of our wildflower meadow. We did outreach to new residents for the first time. We continued our cleanup crew events, which were very popular and did a great job. We launched the Sustainability Task Force, and we added new staff in December. For communications, we did outreach in the form of newsletters. We used Ready Chesco to send the newsletters out, as well as emails that people submit through our website. And the email signups actually had an open rate of 63%, which is pretty high. Happy with that. We mailed a hard copy of the newsletter to 87 people that would prefer to get it in the mail versus via their email. And we make it available via Facebook, Instagram, and the website. Down below, you can see the website views for the year. It's a very popular way for people to access information about the township. And underneath that is a picture of the postcard that we send out to the new residents. We sent 539 of those this year, and the QR code directs them to callantownship.org/new residents, which has an overview of information about the different services the township provides, as well as links to get more information and find out ways to get involved with different things. So that's been a pretty cool new project. Our social media efforts, again, Facebook is our largest by far. We publish on it almost every day. Instagram is a growing source of information for folks. And YouTube as well has gotten more popular. So all of our board meetings are posted on there, as well as some other special videos that we create. And this year, you can expect that to grow quite a bit more. Here's just an overview of some of our major events. All of them would not be possible without our amazing volunteers and a lot of wonderful sponsors that support us. I think they're a great opportunity for the public to get involved with the township and each other and have some fun. So looking forward to even more events in 2025. Open records requests, we continue to get a lot of them. We processed 107 in 2024, and you can see the breakdown there. Most of them come from unique requesters, but we do have a lot that request things almost every month or every quarter. Most of them are in state, but a lot of them are out of state requesters, and almost all of them are granted. We deny requests primarily when information they're looking for is just not available. We almost always issue our responses within the 5-day window, but every once in a while we do have to do a 30-day extension if it's like a really big request. Interestingly, the state did a survey in 2024 of open records officers throughout the state. And based on those results, it looks like we're receiving a lot more requests than most other municipalities. So it says 73% of open records officers reported that they receive less than 40 right to know requests a year, and 20% receive less than 20 requests. So we are blowing them out of the water for some reason. We did make some enhancements to our public spaces, particularly pavilions in the parks, which are really popular with our residents. Also moved the Beaver Creek Trail project forward, as well as some work on the Speckman Davis farm. New things that were exciting were the honorary street sign program, rolling out some holiday lighting on Lincoln Highway, and a new stream gauge in Lloyd Park. Sustainability efforts grew more than ever with the new sustainability task force taking shape this year. Beyond that, we worked on invasive plant removals in our parks and open spaces, did maintenance on our riparian buffers, planted a new pollinator garden in Lloyd Park, thanks to Ann Duzan from Parks and Rec. And we got a lot of really positive attention for all of our planting BMPs. We had a number of folks come and tour them and attend workshops here at the Township Building. So that was a really great opportunity for us to learn from other folks and them to learn from us. And finally, there's a lot of miscellaneous other jobs that go into this work. So we helped manage grants, especially for the Beaver Creek Trail project. We designed things for all of the other offices here at the township, support Parks and Recreation, and I do most of the IT support in-house, working with Help Now, which is our IT provider. So a lot of fun stuff going on here, and I'm looking forward to expanding all of these efforts in 2025. So let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you when I get back. Thanks.
That has set the bar for the rest of you directors. Oh, I like that. Since she's not here, we can't really ask her a question, but there's very good. You put that together. She did that? Okay.
Did a good job. Oh, that's good. Well, Jessica, you're making some of us stars here. Johnny was already a video on Facebook. I love the fact that you're showing the faces that run this township to the public. It is a great idea. Oh, that'll be interesting. We'll go through the directors first. We have a lot of stars here. And our township manager, of course. So, excellent reports. Oh, we have a couple more. Right.
Wait a minute.
Finance and
Oh, no, township manager. Yeah, because finance is when we, the sixth one. Okay. I just turned the page here. Oh, the meeting's longer than I thought. Township manager, what do we have? You have a slideshow?
I do not have a slide.
Jessica, I do want to thank you for being able to move that camera around, folks speaking. I know at least one person on Zoom, I assume she's on, is enjoying it. Go ahead, Don. What do we have?
Thank you, commissioners. Just a couple items here, and I will defer to some of the directors for additional information regarding these requests. The first is there's a memo in your packet, of course. It's Public Works. This is funded through the Section 902 of the Municipal Waste Planning and Recycling Waste Reduction Act, Act 101. This was a grant, as you recall, received in 2024, and this would be for the purchase of 2026 F650 crew cab chassis, which is at a price of $94,260. As a component of this, with the upgrade for the chipper, it will come out to $149,240, and this would be funded through the grant program that was received from the Department of Environmental Education. Johnny,
You're right on.
Is this the one with the Kenwood system?
is not.
No? Okay. I won't rag on that. All right, commissioners, any comments on this?
I don't have.
Public Works, they deserve it. I don't know about that Ray. He's got a couple here, but let's get through Public Works first. All right, so anyone here in the township building, any comments, questions? None at this time. Anyone in Zoom? None at this time. Entertain a motion to approve purchase of the 560. So moved.
Second.
All right, moved by Commissioner Young, second by Commissioner Tindaro. In favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. Have a good time with that one, Johnny.
do.
All right. What do we got next, sir?
All right, we next 4.2, and we'll defer to Director Stackhouse for any specific details regarding the ventilation system, regarding the Scott SCBA. This would be
Okay.
for.
Oh, sorry about that.
Please.
Commissioners, you probably have the memo that I sent to the manager about this purchase. So as I mentioned, our program for emergency services has increased, and as part of that, which we always to a point have been doing, but that's increased. Myself and Ryan Lewis, the deputy fire marshal, respond to calls as part of the command staff on incidents. There are times, or fairly often times, that we do arrive first and may have to provide either tactical command, which means going inside the building, or even operating as part of the fire suppression staff. Because of that, we need to have these SCBA, which are the air packs, that firefighters wear to go inside buildings and other hazardous environments. It was actually a perfect opportunity to partner with Thorndale Fire Company because they had been budgeting for the last couple of years, trying to get grants initially, and then budgeting when they didn't get those grants to replace all their SCBA because they're at the end of their certified use. So, we worked with Chief Taylor to get in as part of that purchase to get a cheaper price. So what you have before you is a proposal to purchase 2 Scott SCBA packs with 2 spare cylinders each for those at a cost of $18,680. That was budgeted as part of the 2025 capital purchase budget that I had submitted for our department to the finance director, early in the budget process. This is fully integrated and compatible with, our local fire company, so that, they work together.
All right, thank you, Ray. Commissioners, any questions, comments?
No.
I do have one question. What's the lifespan of one of these units?
20 years.
20 years?
20.
15? Somebody says 15?
Yeah.
Oh, I got 15, 20.
Cylinders are 15.
Okay. I think we can get our money's worth out of it then. Perfect.
I believe so.
Ray, you still be around.
That I'm not sure about, but thank you.
That was just a fun joke.
All right, any comments from township here? None at this time. Anyone in Zoom? Entertain a motion to approve the purchase of these 2 items for $18,680.
So moved.
So moved. And
Second.
moved by Commissioner Tindaro, second by Commissioner Kennedy. All in favor? Say aye. Aye. Is that an aye there, Jane?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. The motion passes 4-0. Thank you, Ray. And then I see you have a couple more items here.
I do, and again, I apologize for not being there in person. It wasn't the optimum time to have a training class, but You also should have
It's always a good time to have a training class, Ray. People criticize
you,
that.
you have a fairly wordy memo that I sent to the manager describing the next 3 purchase requests. Again, all these were in the planning stages since we implemented the emergency service, cooperative effort in 2023. So I'll go. I'm not trying to breeze through anything. You let me know any questions you have, but in a nutshell, currently we have in my department we have 5 vehicles. Most of those, other than the 2019 Canyon, were hand-me-downs, and that's not a negative, but they were hand-me-downs from the police department or the old, the previous manager, just to keep our expanding department with vehicles, the proper vehicles at the time. Again, since our services have expanded, some of those vehicles are definitely not, not effective and not efficient for what we do. Again, the fire marshals and myself carry, our turnout gear, these SCBA. They need to be properly stored. They need to be properly separated, from the cab. So in order to do that, we need to change our fleet around a little bit. So there's 3 proposals in front of you this evening, and if I can, I'll just go through them one at a time and see what questions you may have. The first one is a 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500. That vehicle, between the vehicle, the upfit, which means the cap, the lights, the radios, the computer, which is an MDC, meaning we can see messages the county sends us. We can communicate to the county on emergency incidents through that computer and all the things that go with that, for a total purchase price of $110,049. Again, that's in the budget. That vehicle would go to me. And the Canyon in 2019 Canyon, that would rotate into the fire marshals, and we would get rid of one of the Ford Escapes or Ford Edges that really are just not conducive to what we do these days. The second one is we did receive a Ford Explorer, 2021 Ford Explorer, from the police chief when he upgraded his vehicle, and it was time to change out his vehicle. That vehicle has reverted to Ryan Lewis, the deputy fire marshal, because he responds to emergency incidents. He responds as deputy fire marshal when we're called in by the police or by the fire department for complaints. That vehicle has a lot already that's needed, because it doesn't need a ton, but there's some things that the police didn't need that we do. And really that's just an upfit. It would be a radio to communicate with the fire department in the county. Again, a computer and a docking station, the same thing in MDC. And then the CCD SVPN, which allows us to operate. We already, in last year's budget, we already budgeted to change some of the lights out, which we have to change those colors so they're not police and they're fire related. And then the last one is really a cooperative effort between, really shows the cooperative effort in the way our program has changed. You have additional memo from from Chief Taylor. Since we have career staff in the station now, a couple things. That career staff goes out when we have 2 or 3 career staff. One of them does, pre-planning. Sometimes it's one of the fire marshals that's assisting, and they use these smaller vehicles to cut down on some of the wear and tear with the bigger vehicles. Also, the fire company, if we have 3 career staff or 4 career staff, which we do sometimes during the day between our career firefighters and our fire marshals, if they respond to calls and we have volunteers that are coming from further away and are delayed, this gives them additional vehicles, smaller vehicles that they can take to still be able to bring to the call. And that is a Chevy Silverado 3500 with an upfit, and that total price is 87,000. Well, and I do apologize, you probably got an additional memo today. When we were dealing with the vendor, they had a little snafu when they started inputting this truck into the build program. And initially, what you had in front of you was 87,555.36. Additional safety and electrical upgrades that were required for this version, this model of this truck, were increased by $1,685. So the total cost for that vehicle is $89,240.36. So I apologize. I know that's a lot. But again, capital asset planning and capital asset management, now that we've expanded services is, has to be accounted for. That is in our budget. In the Department of Building Life Safety, we've actually been very frugal with, spending anything on vehicles. Again, we've been lucky enough to get some hand-me-down vehicles, so we didn't have to purchase those. But we've been planning for this for at least a year or two. Currently, that our department has $280,000 in our vehicle account. This would total cost for these purchases would be $206,967.05, which would still, obviously leave us enough for any contingency cost or replacement. And that's actually without what goes into the capital vehicle for 2025.
All right. Thank you, Ray. Commissioners, any comments on these three items? Three. None?
No.
Yeah, when I was speaking with Don earlier today, I'm like, why is Ray asking for everything all at once? And then I realized,
sorry,
Ray's the kind of guy that he just rips the Band-Aid right off, so let's just get it.
Get it done.
I mean, that's actually a very good question. It's funny because the class I'm taking this week talks a little bit about capital asset planning, and one of the issues, as you already know, that we've explained to you with the fire trucks, and the police have the same issue, Public Works have the same issue. The two vehicles, the two Chevys, the 1500 and 3500, we may not see them till the middle of the year, and with any delays, we wouldn't see them till potentially the end of the year. So that's kind of why it comes. I hope in the future I won't be coming to you with that much all at one time, and we'll kind of plan that out a little better.
That's fine. And in fact, if we waited any longer, prices may go up. We've been down that road as well.
Yes, sir.
All right. No further questions from commissioners. Any here in the township building? None at this time. Anyone in Zoom? Right. I'll just do one by one. Entertain a motion to approve the 2025 Chevy 1500.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Young, second by Commissioner Tindaro. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion passes 4-0. Motion to approve the 2025 Chevy 350 with the additional 1685 in the amount of 89,240.36 cents.
So moved.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Tindaro, second by Commissioner Young. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And motion passes 4-0. Then entertain a motion to approve the purchase of the uplift equipment for the 2021 Ford Explorer.
So moved.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Young, second by Commissioner Tindaro. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. Okay, looking forward to seeing those trucks.
Thank you very much, Commissioner.
And thanks for chiming in there, Ray.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Vimazal, what do we have next year?
Okay. The next two items are related. Agenda item 4.6 and 4.7 are two grant programs, and I just wanted to bring to the board's attention and get some feedback. And if the board's interested, there'll be a resolution which is required for to submit the grants in the future. The first is through the county. It's and the 4.7 is DCNR, and just as both are related to the Beaver Creek Trail, specifically the extension from Downingtown Borough into the dog park area. We did have the opportunity to meet with DCNR earlier this month. The regional staff came down, walked them through the project, and they felt it was a very competitive project. The connection, multi-municipal connection going through an existing park will score, according to them, very highly. It was recommended, if we are applying for DCNR funding, to also apply for county funding. The reason for that is there is a 50% non-state match associated with the DCNR fund. County funding through the Chester County Preservation Parks and Preservation Program can serve as that match for at least a portion of the total funding. Working with Gilmore, the cost estimate for that section of trail comes in just shy of $1 million. Trails are expensive, and this one especially so because of the pedestrian access across Beaver Creek. However, if we're able to go after the full fund associated with the grant program, the lion's share should be covered under this program. This would be for construction funding. Engineering is complete. It's essentially a shovel-ready project at this point. So with the board's consideration, we would be interested in completing both applications. The county is due at the end of February. The DCNR, the state fund, is not till April 2nd, so we have a little more time with that, but they will be very similar. They are very similar programs. So really just wanted to answer any questions and get any guidance in order to move forward and hopefully submit and receive some funding.
Commissioners, comments?
Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, and how long of a length is that? Miles worth of a trail?
Give or take. It will be a very expensive component of the larger trail network, again, because of the bridge across the Brandywine, which we're expecting, based on the preliminary cost estimates, to run in total around $150,000 just for that crossing. But it will be an important, and again, because it's connecting Downingtown Borough with the dog park, we do think it'll score very highly. DCNR seem very excited about the project.
It's a no-brainer, and since Tony isn't here, I think we can give our blessing. We're always thinking about Tony DeSario when we're speaking about trails.
Thank you very much. So we'll move forward with that, and as soon as the next meeting, there may be a resolution for the county fund, which is due at the end of February. And get started.
Don, I covered both of them, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. CCIU. Who wants to start with this? Update.
Just keeping it on the agenda.
Yes.
Obviously an ongoing discussion item, one that we do not want to see fall by the wayside. The spring semester has begun, and I believe the chief has some updates on activity.
Go for you, Chief.
I don't know if Ray is still on the call. For the record, I'd like to say I asked for nothing.
Oh, I am. I'm hearing you.
So the Chester County Intermediate Unit in 2024, we responded to 464 service calls compared to 301 in 2023. The largest increase being incidents of violence, elopements, and child line investigations.
Yeah.
At this point during the previous school year, we were at 183 service calls. We are already at 226 as of today. So we are on pace to far surpass last year's numbers.
Wow.
And I've talked about this so much during the last few meetings. I'm at a point where I really don't know what more to say.
I remember Donna DePrinzio stood up last time. She suggested reaching out to a different department.
She was suggesting essentially working with the IU related to the IEPs for individuals at the facility. It in some cases, I'm sure that would be a successful. It is a little based on the population of that facility. It does enter into a little bit more of a complicated situation, but that is certainly something worth pursuing to a degree. At this point, though, we're hopeful we're able to make some headway regarding long-term changes at the facility. Individuals based on the population of that facility, trying to work with individual response associated with IEPs, and that it may resolve some of the student body, but I think there'll be long-term issues that will remain. Really, we want to keep this as an agenda item, bring before the board's attention that this is not something township staff, department are going to just ignore. It obviously has a concern. Multiple meetings with the IU, of course, over 2024. Those conversations will continue through 2025. Ultimately, there needs to be attention to the matter because, as the chief referenced, these numbers continue to climb year over year. And, we just don't want it to fall off the radar. So we'll continue to include this as an agenda item, the board updated and the community updated, that this is an ongoing situation.
Commissioners? Yes. You know the rule, Adam. Come on up. Name and address.
Yes.
Get it on record.
Adam Thomas, 310 Carlin Court. Chief, in relation to that number, 460 calls for service roughly last year, 2024, and 283.
So the 464 is calendar year. The other number I gave, 226, that's since the beginning of the school year
This year.
to this point. Correct.
As a contrast, what are the calls that we're getting to Coatesville High School?
So 464 at the intermediate unit, last year 41 at the high school, and of those 41, the vast majority were non-student related. They're after hours calls where their police department isn't working, alarms, those sort of things.
So it's fair to say that citizens and to the services of Count Township.
Right. It's not only on the police department. I mean, EMS, fire, they're seeing the same thing. So, you know, it's at the expense of our residents and our businesses.
Getting intel from state representatives.
These conversations.
Still this together.
But Chief, those calls, are they just police calls? They're not fire and EMS calls?
No, they're both.
That's both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't have a breakdown.
Are there times where
increase in mental health calls? So that's automatically triggers an EMS response.
Okay.
They had to transport a student within the last week to Chester County Hospital. We had to send an officer along. Student got there, assaulted a nurse. It's every day.
Should we be reaching out to the principal and ask her to come in to make some statements, or at least give us an update on their side of it as well? Continue this conversation?
We have met with leadership at the IU. at the facilities, and have had multiple meetings with the executive director of the Chester County Intermediate Unit and senior leadership of the countywide facility.
Mhm.
As you recall, we have had members of the IU and meetings in the past. I'm more than happy to reach out once again at a future meeting and encourage them to attend and to speak on any efforts being made there to improve the situation.
That'd be worth it.
Some calls are only EMS calls or medical type emergencies, but given the climate there, we automatically send at least one patrol car, if for no other reason, for the safety of the EMS folks.
Any other comments from residents here in the township building? Adam, thank you so much. That was anyone in Zoom?
No.
Thank you. Keep us posted. Keep it on the agenda. Board minutes, January 9th. We do have enough for a quorum to approve them. We were not in attendance. Okay. So Jane, between Jane, myself, and Rain, do we have any comments, changes needed on the minutes for January 9th? If not,
No.
No.
okay. Before we take the vote, I did reach out to Don earlier today and just asked him to change the star to snowflake comment. Was the only thing that I caught. Other than that, entertain a motion to approve.
So move.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Kennedy, second by Commissioner Tindaro. All in favor, say aye.
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 Minutes have been approved, 3-1 abstain.
Ooh.
Right, Planning Commission minutes to acknowledge for December 17th. Everyone had a chance to read those?
Mhm.
Any comments? If not, entertain a motion.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Young, second by Commissioner Tindaro. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes 4-0. Acknowledged. Moving right along. Finance Department. Lisa, welcome.
Thank you. Good
Thanks for
evening.
hanging out.
Where else would I be?
What do we have?
So the board has my report for its basically year-end December, as I usually report. For the total year 2024, the revenues came in 14% over budget, which is fantastic. Expenses came in with some unexpected incidences that occurred 5% over budget, but overall we're at a 9% increase there for our fund balance. So again, going into 2025 with a nice healthy bundle there. Nothing really crazy for 2024. It looks like we should still have some good interest income coming in for 2025, even though ARPA fund is now depleted and done. We still have a nice healthy fund balance in the general fund, so I will be making some investment there. So hopefully that'll carry through the year. Seems like a lot of grant opportunities are also out there, so big proponent of free money. So I look forward to helping to spend that. Just wanted to make a comment about our equipment purchases. Everybody has their own equipment that we, of course, approved during the budget season, and just happy to report that over the last 2-3 years, that we have budgeted appropriately for these expenses for equipment that is absolutely needed, and because we budgeted with the board's help on a fair scale, we probably saved anywhere from about 15 to 20,000 in expenses and fees, interest payments, by buying just about everything outright instead of leasing, etc. Getting some extended warranties also helped. offset any repairs that we would normally, have to incur that expense as well. So just another plus to add to the board. I thank you for an easy season again this year, and open to any questions, and let's go Eagles.
Yes.
Eagles.
I know.
Thank you, Lisa.
There was one question. I did get an answer for it. It was from our packet, our meeting packet, page 106. And it was 24/0/2812, and the amount was 709.26. It came up blank. It just said 1. And we were able to find out that that was gas and electric for a barn on the golf course.
On the golf course. That is correct.
So I
Yes.
just wanted to say, thank you. I got the information.
Okay.
And if anyone else was wondering, that's what it was.
And we did make a written note on the check itself.
Oh,
for
good. Okay. Well,
reporting
thanks.
purposes. Absolutely.
I
Lorraine,
appreciate
good
that.
catch. Good catch, Lorraine.
Thank you.
I missed that. Any other comments, questions? I entertain a motion to approve check run. Oh, what do we have check run 53,376 to 53,482 with the manual check of 311.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Young, second by Commissioner Tindaro. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay. Checks have been approved. 4-0. Additional business. Resignations. Skip down to public comment. Okay. Unfortunately, we didn't call her Valicia. Lisa, yeah.
Lisa.
I know her by Lisa.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realize her actual name, Valicia. Unfortunately is resigning from the Historical Commission. Any comments? Any way to stop it? No.
No, it was a shame. It was, she was good,
Yes.
good member.
Mhm.
Just too much going on, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, sad, but I will entertain a motion to accept her resignation from the Historical Commission.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Young, second by Commissioner Tindaro. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Jane doesn't want to. She's still online?
Yeah, I am. I said aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, motion passes 4-0. Thank you so much, Lisa, for all the work that you've done on the Historical Commission. All right, and next we have Dawn Coughlin from the Historical Commission
Yeah,
as well,
it's a shame.
resigning. As I understand, yeah, she has a lot going on, and she's still with Old Count Historical Society.
Right.
That is
So she-
correct.
That's a
So she-
full-time
Yeah.
job in itself.
She's got her hands full with that, and you know we're always going to see her anyway. But
We
I'll
help
entertain a
out.
motion to accept Dawn's resignation.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Young, second by Commissioner Tindaro. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. Not willingly. Okay. Public comment at this time.
Anybody?
Any good jokes? And anybody here in the township building? Anyone in Zoom? All right. Last but not least, entertain a motion to
So
adjourn. So moved.
So moved.
So moved in second
Second.
here. You got that? All right. All in favor, say aye.
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 Meeting adjourned. Go Eagles. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much, everyone.
Made it.